for 2019. If you would actually also like to have a look at your own sign and what this year means to you, I will not post these on YouTube. These are on Patreon, so if you'd like, please sign up and take advantage of my prolific Patreon channel. Thank you very much. Okay, so 2019, Year of the Pig, is going to be an eye-opener for us if we don't have a hold on ourselves and we don't recognize our own space and time. I feel it's going to be an opener for many people that have also been perfecting a craft over a long time, structuring and building, connecting the dots, and being very patient with themselves. So who are the people that benefit most in a year like this? As people that are teachers, that are ready to be teachers, people that are superb at putting things together, people that can let life be on a slow cook, in a slow cooking phase, you know, people that can let life unfold gracefully, people that can command space and time through trusting of self and of where they've come from, people of tradition and people of language and skill, I feel, are going to benefit mostly this year. 2018 wasn't about that. It was a fast-fetching time. The situations and the phenomena that have occurred in 2017 and 2018 perhaps will not return. The large quantum states that we had to achieve in 2015-16 are not going to be there for a while, quite a long time. But what the bright ones or the lively people are able to achieve here is patience and a new sense of security and responsibility, and also the chronolinear reflection of their timeline. So if you are somebody who's very fetching and very fast and very quick and very sharp as an energy, please don't worry if you get a lot of rejection or a lot of instability during such a year, as this year is truly a slow cooking year, slow turning year. It is not good to give up on yourself or to feel guilt. It's just about seeing how you can put your resources together, seeing how you can learn from somebody else, or how you can perhaps also teach and learn yourself from yourself, and create some kind of a fathoming of your world on the whole, because we are looking at family. We're looking at presence throughout space and time. We're not just looking at you, we're looking at the greater collective creation behind you and also what it took to create you. So we're looking at genetic background here. We're looking at thousands of lives that it took to manifest you as a frequency, what culture or tradition you come from, religious and social zones have to be now set. All that you believe, all that you trust in the world has to be resumed with grace. There's not that much room or that much stability for grief during a year like that, because it is very slow turning and it could be very draining for some people. And there's actually also not a lot of room for people to make mistakes. It's not really a high-flying time to change, rip up reality and do things anew, unless you know that you're going to be protected later on. And it's also not the best year for sustenance via things that are not natural for you, or things that are perhaps not organic. So we had a couple of years together, like I've been channeling a lot of themes about stopping work, not having to do too much, getting to the basics, respecting your paternal, maternal lines, trusting your instincts and being more natural and more you. But here the people that are trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat still, or they're in denial about who they are, they're in denial about their curiosity and their natural instincts, and in denial about how come they're here, and what is the quantum meaning behind their lineage, their parents, what everybody else has done to achieve this person to be here in this world. Also the types of experiences that are natural to you specifically. If you can't come to terms with these things, it's going to be a harsh year. So for example, assuming positions in life that are not organically viable for you is going to show. Being in a job that doesn't fit you is going to show. Being with people that do not culturally or ethnically or energetically or spiritually really understand you is going to show. Being part of a collective or a group of people who are not collaborating with you, trying to home or house a person that has not got the same values as you, everything to do with business and marketing, managing creativity, and all these different types of situations that are not actually tailor-made for you and that are not natural for you, not natural to you, are going to hurt. And I also feel that most of us who don't want to release our previous concepts. So, for example, we've identified in our 20s with something, and we're now, like, say, 40 or 50 years old. If we're still holding on to the same concepts without seeing the full chronological timeline, not just of ourselves, but all the people it took to make us, it feels to me that we might actually crash and burn. So, please take into consideration your home, your family, your loved ones, also the types of businesses, the types of situations, and the type of representation and reciprocation that you are a part of, the global grand picture of your life, not just as a movie that you are watching, but also who you are and the meaning that this world has to you, and also the meaningful things about you to other people. That has to be really soaked up now. And perhaps as we start on this journey together, as we all connect to this new frequency, and as I'm recording this now on the solstice on the 20th, just about the solstice on the 20th of December 2018, it is very, very nice now to really not be embarrassed of your parents, to no longer be an argument over your mum and dad, what they do, their mistakes or what you feel their mistakes are, belief systems, religion, waving a flag around, wanting everybody to hear you, wanting people to understand your faith and beliefs, mistrust in other people and societies, you know, and situations that hold a certain type of structure or strategy, being in a fight with the man, being in a fight with the government, fighting nail and claw for a place under the sun, survival, giving out bad impressions, wanting to persecute people, wanting to pursue people, wishing for other people to dominate you and pursue you, wanting sharp or egoic, eccentric experiences, trying to form a family with somebody based on egoic, eccentric, or neurologically classified, just strange experience. It's not good. Having somebody else in your life based on needs, based on sex alone, or just based on karma is not good unless you are very well prepared. So please, it's already happening. I'm seeing mistakes are expensive. Mistakes are expensive during this time. Okay, so you might be perhaps able to generate a quick return or do this or that, but please consider, if you do slip up or you get caught or something happens sometimes during a year like this, if you bruise, it's not going to heal as fast. Or if you make a mistake, it might be very good to be padded on many levels, and to make sure that you can have some kind of way to also slow turn or slow cook your own troubles. And don't expect very fast results unless they're going to be perhaps freeing you from an unnatural cycle. So healing takes time. Relationships need to be slow turning, focused relationships, slow turning time, slow focused thought, deliberate connectivity, deliberate need or desire to adventure with pace, you know, with consideration and with respect. Respect is a big one this year, but also to respect you and the zones of your life that perhaps are not yet functional, or the zones in your life that never were functional. It's so good now to no longer repeat your parents' mistakes. It's a huge genetic recalibration this year. We can start to really understand where our mothers and fathers' generation has gone wrong. We can also see our grandparents through. We can also seek advice or energy from our great-great-grandparents. If you have a full family tree available to you, or the knowledge of you through the family tree has been preserved, which is rare. It's strangely rare. How rare is it to know the full capacity of your family tree? It's amazing. But if you do have the concept of where you're from, any cultural roots, any music that you love during this time that comes from your background or your culture, organically, has to be connected. And I know that a lot of people You know, they don't believe in this. They deliberately discard the natural way of life of their ancestors, the cuisine that their parents grew up with, or the situations that their great-great-parents could have easily manifested, or the types of culture and the types of situations. But you don't have to do this. So basically, it's not about questioning. It's not about breaking free. It's not about breaking up with the past. Here it's about slow cooking, slow turning, and learning to appreciate and form much larger roots, forming much larger ecosystems for you and your loved ones. The friends and the people that are on board with you, whether it is professional, financial, personal, private, they have to be understood. If you don't have anybody after a dog year, and I really doubt you have nobody, but if you don't feel like you have anybody, respect and represent the people that are truly here. But by deliberately disconnecting, perhaps you see that you have done wrong, or you've gone into a loop, and you could maybe have made a few mistakes in the last 2 or 3 years, mending a reality, creating a fractal reality that doesn't actually really form anything, because you're trying to get away from your own unconscious. So it is very good to perhaps for some people, if you are really far along, if you really have no roots, if you have no idea what you're doing, if you have absolutely no respect or appreciation for your elders, if you have absolutely nothing that you value, if you're very sharp and you're very naked energetically, it is okay to develop faith and just to say that you're fine. But those heretics that are actually creating worth, like say they're creating new genres of music, especially culture, all things culture, new genres of art, new genres of self-reform, new ways of healing, and it's working for you, and you've actually created businesses perhaps, or some kind of situation, some kind of stability out of a new culture that you feel you yourself alone, nobody's alone, that's the point of this year, but you yourself alone have created or crafted, that's also good for you. So start sharing those ideas. Fabulous, fantastic year for representatives of any kind of culture, club, or a religion. It's a perfect year to stand alone by your craft. It's a great year to exhibit, but please stay clear if you're just starting to sort of work with something, especially if you're treating it as an escape. You've just been drawing or painting for maybe 2 years, and now you feel that's your idea, and you had no artists or no creative pursuits in your family line, and you are somehow blocked. You know, you're somehow blocked unconsciously from people who are creatives in your life, or you are, you know, no longer wanted by one system, and you are connecting to a new system, and you want to be like a rebel creator. That power of the rebel creator we've had since 2010 is over, so that new shoot is done. And I'm not being negative here, it's just the seasons of time. So spring, summer, autumn, yeah. So and it's more like a wintry energy, I suppose. It's more like a slow turning energy here. The thing here is when you have a craft, and especially if you were born into a family of that craft, or you have created something over a long period of time, you've maybe spent about 6 or 7 years sculpting or making something or putting yourself towards something naturally and organically, and it has not been destructive for you, and you've created some form of advantage, and you've included other people in it, and it's been fine. Please consider that yes, if you are in great equilibrium, and if you have a very, very open heart, perhaps in such a year, you can make great success, and you can actually create for all of us. And yes, I do see different types of technologies and new types of visionaries and things coming to the surface. But please, if you are not yourself, if you haven't done anything with your world in terms of creation or perpetration of your own ideas, you might suddenly feel like you want to do the most, or you want to altruistically enjoy and design and create and craft and sculpt and make a reality like other people are doing. But please don't look at anybody else For some people, it's been lifetimes of, for example, playing music, or lifetimes of creating something, which is what this type of year gives advice and advantage to, is that which has already been for a long time and has been perfected for perhaps many centuries within one family line. But if you are suddenly wanting to be different, and you want to create something very, very strange, very angular, very superior, you feel, to the world, please have a look as how you can pad yourself. For example, creating a new brand, this especially for like cosmetics, for chemicals, any kind of food industries. If you suddenly want to make this brand and you feel you are much better at things than other people, and you perhaps have no respect for other people and what they've done, it would be very, very, very amusing, perhaps on some level, to see how far it can go, and how you can have huge ups, huge downs, and it's like kind of like a wheel of samsara. It's a very, very hard job, it's very, very hard work with attainment, if you are not in the waters where you are organically meant to be. So what I mean is, if you are doing something that is not formative for you and your greater timeline, it's not going to stand, or is going to take you on a very interesting adventure. So the main thing for you is, if you are proud, if you are taking care, if you are respectful, if you are responsible, if you have been wanting a family, if you have been wanting to have a child, if you wanted to perfect your home, if you wanted to perfect your own karma, if you wanted to give back, if you wanted to satisfy yourself, if you wanted to have a more slow turning time now and have much less edge, this is the time. Like, this is the time to perfect things for you, to make things easier for you, to create better resources for you and your friends and your whole household. And also, yes, it is very nice time to make a child. If you are stable and safe and connected, it is a beautiful time to make a home. Beautiful time. But one other reason also is why it could be not so good is, sometimes with this type of year, it's like a blanket, it's like a slide, and for some people it may be false needs that are going to manifest into something very global and very great for them. So what I mean is, you can very easily manifest something from sudden pride, or sudden need for a home or a marriage, or sudden choice that you want to be representing your culture or your place. You can suddenly move to the country of your heritage, or you can suddenly start living with your parents, or trying to make a nest. And with these types of sudden things that are not preparing other people slowly, you can hurt. You can really hurt. But by now you can probably see that the wounds for people now are starting to get real. If you've hurt somebody, it's not going to be just a matter of spitting and rubbing. It's not about like rubbing out the hurt. It is now going to perhaps be something a bit more strong for other people to experience. Since the rooster year, we had a lot of headbutting and a lot of change, and we could have easily made different perspectives through arguments and fights. And I've even encouraged people that, yeah, if you need to talk it out, just talk it out now. Rub the band-aid, just say those things. But by now you might already see how for some people that actually really hurts, and it's starting to be a deep, vulnerable feeling. Also, I feel maybe in yourself, if you're somebody who likes to say the truth all the time and likes to shake the tree and likes to rock the boat, you might actually find that when you are being more placid, and when you're being more placed and more soft and not so aggressive, you might actually find there is a greater truth and sensitivity that awakes within yourself as well as other people. And letting people breathe, leaving room, leaving time, letting time heal, letting people be more compassionate to themselves and to you, being spacious, being less egoic in how you'd like to adjust things, and being open to other people's thoughts and feelings and other people's worlds. You might actually feel and understand that there is something very blissful there for you, even though the result is not what you perhaps decide you want, or maybe you don't feel heard or understood. But just having that slow, mature compassion and that slow, mature way of conduct with another can actually land you in situations for a lifetime. But also please be aware that some of us will try to lick the wounds of others and will try to reciprocate too much, mothering people that don't need to be mothered, or trying to, father or protect people that don't even need that at all. So please consider how any kind of tribalism that you're not experiencing, sorry about the noise outside, any kind of tribalism that you're not experiencing naturally can become a fake type of tribalism where you might be really concerned about the well-being of other people's lives, of yourself and others, based on fake or cosmetic tribalism. So what I mean is trying to be in a culture where you don't belong, trying to protect the weak and the innocent, trying to adopt people, trying to adapt to other people's lives that is not anything like your own, and also out of fear of being alone or being misunderstood or not wanting to even be understood or loved. You might actually very easily here place yourself in situations where you don't have any need to be. You can here be matched with a human that perhaps, doesn't have anything in common with you, and so on and so forth. So it's really important. Get in touch with your roots. Please take a look at your endocrine system. Take a look at your body. Take a look at your skeletal system. Lay down, feel, think. Slow moving systems are good. Slow lifestyle changes. Going back to maybe some prehistoric diets, so paleo diet perhaps for some, looking at what your ancestors would have eaten despite bread and cheese and all of those things. How can you make yourself more whole? How can you feel more wholesome, more natural, and eventually very easily more advanced by nurturing that which is natural and organic to you and that which needs time, and by no longer putting yourself towards cosmetic, disposable or inorganic ideas, people, groups, pursuits, religions and everything like that. So please stay whole, stay real, get to the bottom of you. You don't need to affect anybody. Also another thing, if you, for example, are from a different country and you're trying to make everybody like you, it's not so good. Say for example, if you're Eastern European person, living for example in the Bahamas, and you want everybody to understand you, please consider how you are, where your ancestors have come from, what are the differences between people in the world. And this is not a racial thing, it is more just about the climate of time and how energy forms on different like planetary spots, hotspots, energetic hotspots differently. So please don't consider everybody wrong because they're not part of your religious group or system. Please don't be sensitive to other people's ideas, how people grew up, where their parents have come from. All of that has to be understood and legit. It's legit. Like, okay, so this person is Hawaiian, they have a different perhaps energetic reality from, me. For example, I lived, say, overseas all my life, and then I've come into a life of somebody who's never moved. I have to recognize, that there are differences in culture and structure. So respect and vulnerability and the ability to heal over time and not being too quick to judge. So thank you very much. And yes, if you'd like to look up your sign by Stellium, Ascendant, Moon and Sun, please do so. I will not be posting these on YouTube. These will be now available on Patreon, so please have a look at those videos. They're all there now. If you would like to subscribe to my YouTube, please do. Have a look at my books, have a look at my website, have a look at anything you like, and I will keep you posted. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful 2019. And yes, if you'd like to sign up to my newsletter, you can as well. I think there is a button on my website at the bottom of the page. So thanks a lot. Have a wonderful 2019. Take care of you, take care of your home, take care of your body, take care of your family, and be proud and enriched through you. Thank you. Bye.